was a troll thing.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night.
A guy showed up to fix an electric fan. Said my name was Richard Samuel. They do that shit all the time. Like, I mean, we had the Horry County Police show up about 3 weeks ago or so, probably a month ago, maybe. I don't know. I lose track of time. Why am I going this way? And stated that Bongo was being abused and chained up and had chain rashes and everything. That's pretty much how I got their subreddit taken down. Because like I asked for them to file a false police report, and he did for me, and I used that to get their subreddit taken down with the link. Was a slow pay playthrough. It means I'm mainly going to be looking at chat more so than playing.
Because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
The thing with Dark Souls is I want the platinum for Dark Souls, but I don't like playing the game in New Game Pluses. It's not because I can't do it. I just feel like my main enjoyment of Dark Souls has always been the interaction with people. Like, I like being able to put my summon sign down and like help people either with red NPCs or you know, bosses, or help people through a very tough area, like getting them across like the bridges in Seif's little cavern that you can't really see, because like that's very, very frustrating for a new player. And sometimes you won't help. I mean, granted, sometimes those players just want you to do it for them, but it is what it is. Well, good for him. I mean, like, I don't really care about the number of platinums. I just like, if I really like a game, I like to platinum it. Like, I want to platinum like The Witcher 3. Because I really like The Witcher 3. And I think the game deserves my time.
240, criminal to profile.
Hey, Pimp, future play with subs other than Rainbow Pod. This good chill content, though.
Hey Pimp,
I don't really
any
play
future
anything else,
streams
honestly.
playing with subs other than Rainbow or COD?
That's
This
the
good chill content though.
That's the problem. Like the only thing I really played, like maybe Diablo 2 Resurrection, whenever that might come out. But like I don't really see myself playing much more than what I am. Like I feel like once March 16th rolls around, there's gonna be like a good 2 or 3 weeks where, you know, Rainbow dominates my playthrough space. But like I'm just not the kind of dude that sits around and plays like the newest of the new releases. It's not who I am. Like, I kind of just get a game and I play it to death. And I think a lot of that was instilled in me growing up poor. Like, when me and my brother used to get video games, like, we wanted video games we could put a lot of time into. Mainly because we only got, like, 2 to 4 video games a year, depending on what we asked for our birthday. You know, sometimes we ask for different things. Like, we usually get a video game on our birthdays and a video game each at Christmas. So like we had like 4 video games each year that had to be basically either played. So if we got a game we disliked, we had to figure out ways to like it. ATW, looking forward to the new Rainbow season. Change the March season. Be cool. Change the game. Me too. I'm hoping. You can fall off now, bud. I really like the changes they're doing. Like, it might suck more on defense, but like defense, as it sits right this second, is way too strong. The trouble I'm having with that last Capra Demon encounter, it's more because of my weapon choice than anything. I should probably go in there with the Morning Star on.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they must
Hey,
be coming
Corboza,
out.
thank you for subscribing.
Mostly.
Mainly because like this weapon is very slashing, and I don't really have a whole lot of room. I need a more up-down vertical weapon, which just has an up-down vertical slash, but it's still like a 45-degree slash. So I think I'm gonna go in with the Morning Star when we get back to there. I've ever had the pleasure of viewing King of the Hill. Yeah, everybody's seen King of the Hill, man. You blew your back out yesterday? What were you doing, man? You can't be blowing your fucking back out. You only get one of them motherfuckers. Protect your back at all costs, dude. What body wash do I use? I use Old Spice Captain Scent. That's my jam. Oh, there goes 50,000 souls. I got fucking comboed. Hey, it doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter. Smell like a leprechaun's ball sack. It's better than what some people smell like, I guess. Some people smell like fucking body odor, like, or weed. Like, weed smells like shit, too. You'll donate for me to break this game? It's digital, man. You're doing it if I play something else. What do you want me to play, dude? And how much you donating? Hey, Crusa Brusca. How you doing today, pimp? My day's going fine. I went to the doctor today for a couple reasons. So, like, I just got back from the doctor. Like, I've had really bad sinus headaches lately, and my nose is really sore and inflamed. My tonsils are kind of hurting me. So he gave me like some kind of patch to put on to help with the inflammation of my nose. And I also talked to him about TRT, which stands for testosterone replacement therapy, and how like it's not really working. Like, I've been on it for 3 months now, and like, other than like some hair growth and like a motivation to want to move a little bit more, I don't feel like I haven't got any libido back yet. put my fucking... Alright, bud. Me and you. You can go all the way around on that. I don't have GameStop stock, man. Thoughts on Twitch adding refunds? It's all the same to me, man. Like, the vast majority of my subs are gifted subs anyway. Like, and I'm sure people that abuse the system will get pulled out. Like, if you constantly are asking for refunds on a Twitch sub, they'll end up banning your account. So there's always that, too. See, Drop Dead, you're asking me a question that's basically a troll question, but I'll humor you. In no way, shape, or form do I feel like SSRIs or testosterone replacement therapy is supposed to fix me, right? That's never been the case, right? Like, all I wanted fixing with testosterone was to have libido, right? To have a sex drive. I currently don't have a sex drive. You know, and that's kind of bad when you're married, right? Because it creates, you know, it creates doubts in your partner and things like that. So, like, that's all I look to fix, right? And the correct answer to fixing that is to lose weight. But obviously I'm doing a poor job of losing weight. And, like, I understand that life and problems in general are a series of choices. It takes thousands of choices to get fat, but in retrospective, it takes thousands of choices to get thin as well. Like, you have to make the right choices that, you know, enrich and elongate your life. If you don't, that's when black clouds kind of like hover over you. So life is just a series of choices, and I'm aware of this, right? I mean, like, they're coming at me like I'm stupid, like I'm expecting something to fix it, right? But you guys always conveniently forget that even when, like, I had just gotten the surgery and I was losing weight, what were people doing? What were people doing to a man that's had dealt with his self-esteem the entire time he's lived his life? They were doubting him. They were saying, "Oh, you haven't lost weight." Even when I was dropping 5-6 pounds a week, and I got to the point where, like, I looked like a normal person for at least a little while. People were still like, "Oh, you're just as fat as you've ever been," and then you'll have the same people harp on, like, "You need to have thicker skin." Brr, 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 brr. The fact is, Michael Moore lost to George Foreman not by one strong knockout punch, but 10 rounds of pepper punches that eventually led to a knockout punch in the 10th round, right? The punch he hit him with in the 10th round, it hit him with 40, 50 times that fucking match. But it's called death by 1,000 cuts, right? If you get deal with the same thing over and over again, you even start to like get second guess yourself. It's just an excuse for failing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You can't get better in the same place that you got sick. And people constantly putting me back into the same mindset that got me fat is an excuse for failing, but it's also a symptom of people just being assholes. In a time where people claim that they want to help me, right? Which, you know, none of the people that trolled actually donated for the most part. But all the trolls claim that they want to help me and see me lose weight and turn my life around. No, they fucking don't. They don't. If I was a fucking 6'3", 185-pound super Chad, they would still find something wrong with my life.
Switch to DCS ranging.
Hey, a footsoft. Appreciate the dono, man.
We're in the pipe. 5 by 5.
I'm blaming people instead of taking responsibility. Dude, I'm harder on myself than any troll could ever be. That's why I'm still around right now. Because as much as trolls want to pretend like they're the worst part of my life, they're not. My brain is the worst part of my life. And that's the reason I take stuff like a Fixer and Lexapro and things like that. Because it helps me escape from my brain. Because no matter how hard you are on myself, and no matter like how bad you talk down on me, like when I miss a shot in Rainbow, or when I mess up on thing, I'm hard as fuck on myself. I get to the point where I'm ready to cry because I fuck up. Like I hate feeling like I'm the weak link in the chain, because I've had that PTSD beaten into me my whole fucking life, be it with sports or some sort of like situation like where I'm always the last. I was always last, you know, when we had to come running laps. I was always one of the last picked on like the kickball or basketball team. I was always looked at the weak link because I was so fucking fat. And like, there's a series of ways it happened, right? And like, even as an adult, I can't fix it. It's not even so much I'm a victim. Like, you're looking at it as like being a victim. I don't give a fuck about being a victim or not. Me being a victim doesn't benefit me at all. You'd be like, well, people give you pity donations. I mean, like, that's not what this is aimed for. Like, to be all perfectly honest, I'm streaming just so I can say I streamed today, right? Because like it got to the point where it's like, it got to the point of like, you know, I didn't stream yesterday because I felt bad. I didn't think I wanted to stream today, but it's like, life's about 1,000 choices that you make. Wallowing in depression doesn't pick me up where I need to be at. The only thing that does that is putting in the hours, streaming, doing my second job, making sure I do my upkeep. Make sure I brush my teeth, make sure I take a shower, make sure I wash the clothes, make sure that I clean up, you know, keep my mind busy. Yeah, I like StarCraft. I don't really like RTS games. I like StarCraft, the first one. I don't live a pathetic life. At least I don't think I live a pathetic life. I think I live a great life. I mean, what you have doesn't determine about where you're at mentally. Yeah, that's one way you can word it. If you want to be a complete dickhole.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they
I
mostly
mean,
come
like,
at night.
the society that we live in has normalized taking people that are just generally unhappy with themselves and shitting on them. Right? There's a whole subreddit called Neckbeard Nest. Hey, Big Gamer, thank you for the gift of subs, man. I appreciate that shit, dude. But to finish my thought, there's a whole subreddit called Neckbeard Nest, and like to you look at it like, how can somebody get to that point? How can somebody let themselves go to like, this is where they're at, where like they live in a realm of like Mountain Dew bottles surrounding them, and like they're just unclean. Like there's streamers that have basically shown that they hide all their trash off the camera and stuff,
And they mostly come at night.
right?
Mostly.
And like to me, that's depression. That's people being unhappy with themselves, and like doing basic human activities is a struggle for some people. And like one of the main, and it's usually people that are depressed, and that has nothing to do with your weight, anything of that nature.
Because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night.
Depression comes in all manners. Weight can spur on depression, but self-image, you know, drive. There's all kinds of things that can cause you to be in that spot where it's like, you know what, I'm not gonna brush my teeth
We
today.
better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Big Gamer, dude, I think you gifted us 10 subs now. Thank you, dude. And again, this isn't even a depression awareness stream. This is like you're wording something I said, like make sure that I do things that I'm supposed to do, because like you can't sit around and stew. You got to keep pushing even if you don't want to push. And the reason that is if you sit down and do nothing, you get nothing.
And they mostly come at night.
Right?
Mostly. We better get back, because it'll be dark soon.
Yeah,
and
but
they mostly
the
come
drop
at
dead.
night.
But see,
Mostly.
you're saying this, but I bet you there's something that you do that people would find weird, right? Like to me, when I was growing up, like being good at video games was like one of the only things I could like hold my hat on. It's like, yeah, I could be Super Mario.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon.
And like as I've
they
gotten
mostly
older,
come at
video
night.
games have taken
Mostly.
a smaller and smaller portion of like of life, right? It's like, am I as good at Call of Duty as I used to be? No. And why is that? Well, a lot of it's I don't play it. Like the times where you see me play Call of Duty is like the only time. Like I've played Call of Duty a total of like 5 hours this month, and all 5 hours have been on
We
stream.
better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Mr. Rat.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Hey, B for Vendetta. Game's ass anyway, I agree. I agree.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can get why trolling. No, people troll me because I react. That's everything. Because I react, people troll me. There's nothing more to it. If you donate less than $5, man, I never get notified of it. So it's not really like I'm ignoring you. It's just that it just goes in the background, and the reason that is because people took advantage to Did I not get the dual humanity? Have you tried self-worth to success, but your fear of failure has driven your life? If you tried your self-worth to a hard day's work, success will come? Dude. I mean, like, even yesterday when I didn't do this, I did 8 hours of my other job. I mean, I'm not afraid of working hard. Like I was probably the hardest working guy in the commentary scene back in the day. Like, I did 3 videos a day. Granted, they were 3 commentary videos, and they weren't like super high effort in editing, but that has more to do with my creativity more than it has to do with my work ethic. It's not that I work too hard. I don't work that fucking hard. Like most of my jobs do, like, there's like a machine that does the vast majority of the work. I'm getting fucked up here. I think I'm exactly at 1 health right now. I want to check. Did they hit me down to exactly 1 health? Oh no! You followed me all the way up here. I should have healed. I had 2 health. Can I check my DMs, please? Yeah, I got you. What do we got here? If you're not... yeah, Crown Prince. The answer to your question is yes. I mean, but just accept them all. Don't decline them. Because when you decline them, it means they can't put another one in later. Well, currently, I would hold off on asking me a question. Why would you make highlight channels your worst moments, though? That's mental. The reason you do something like that is because it's easier to drive people from negative aspects than it is positive, right? Why are these rats beating my ass so hard? I guess it's because I'm in light armor. I usually do this in medium. I just want to come over here and kill Kurt. Holy snakes techniques. She didn't gain 2 pounds? No, she didn't. Like, I wasn't being condescending to her, like she thinks I was. What I was trying to do is not get her down on herself. Because, like, when you get down on yourself, people make bad choices. That's when you buy donuts and, you know, you start drinking sweet tea again because you see things go walking. Like, your body can fluctuate between, you know, 1 to 5 pounds every day. It's not 5 pounds up and down every day. Like, for example, like, if you go up 2 pounds one week and you did nothing drastically different, like you watch what you ate and everything else and you didn't do anything, you mainly maintained weight that week, much more so than
we better get
gained weight. 'Cause, like,
and they mostly come at night.
there's so many variables with that. Like, did you poop? Right? Because your body can carry upwards of 15 pounds of poop in it at one time. And, like, when you take a poop, you usually have more than 2 pounds of poop that comes out of you. Right? What did you eat yesterday? Did you eat something high in sodium? Sodium holds water more.
To DCS Ranger.
Have you pee-peed?
240.
You can hold up to 0.6 pounds of pee-pee in your bladder. Would you rather a few more subs or a little dono? Dude, you don't really got to do anything, man. Like, you've done more than enough. Honestly. Hello?
Hi, this is Cynthia with Senior Care. We are calling to let you know about a new low-cost idle expense insurance plan that has just been approved in your state. This life insurance plan is designed to cover 100% of your funeral expenses. To get a quote right now, please press 3 or please press 7 to have your name removed out of our list.
Morbidly obese people that are 500 plus pounds can have up to 40 pounds of poop in their body. I mean, like, you can go look at autopsies and things like that of dead people. They literally weigh how much feces you have in your body at the time of death. That monster got a whop. Yeah. He sadly does. And it's on his fucking belly. Like, the lore of the Gaping Dragon is that he's a dragon that fed off of, like, the underbelly of the undead bird. And his hunger was so insatious that it took over his stomach. So his stomach actually grew
We
teeth.
better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
So that Miyazaki lore. And you notice he has 2 stomachs. So I'm guessing, like, the second stomach is his one he lives off of at this point. And only the first stomach actually grew teeth. You got the second stomach here. Or where the first stomach would be. So he's kind of like a cow. I'm not ignoring it, dude. Like, on my screen, like, there's like thousands of people being unbanned right now. So it's kind of hard to read everything. Big Gamer, dude, thank you for the gifted subs, man.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Wings as a Dark Souls boss? Yeah, that's me, huh?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly. We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Do you actually like your pants? I like a few of them. Like, if Joe Man asked me to when he was moving, I'd have easily drove to Charlotte and helped him move. I have 2 trailers and a truck.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
It's the modular mansion. My modular mansion is wind grade 3 rated, so it can handle a hurricane up to category 3.
It'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
So yeah, it can handle 40-mile-an-hour Northern Ireland winds. Aren't you in California 672?
We better get back.
Hey,
'Cause it'll be
Spaceballs.
dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
It keeps vomiting, man. Dude's like an anorexic.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
What do I think about Shoe Nice? Actually, I haven't heard about him in a while. Last time I seen Shoe Nice, he was homeless, wasn't he? The big thing about Shoe Nice is like he never like went past where he was started at. I need to go back to the Undead Bird. Because I failed to grab. I need to grab this crossbow too. I failed to grab the Twin Humanities and Undead Bird.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night.
Oh, those are rats!
Mostly.
I was like, what are those? And they're actually rats. Like they're shadows. I don't know where the shadows from the rats are coming from though. Because I was looking at this shit, I'm like, the fuck? Because I thought it was like somebody looking at me from somewhere.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night.
Shoe Nice is a better man than me. Big Gamer has gifted 21 subs, dude. God dang, man. Appreciate that shit. It's sad, right? I don't know anything. I'm only listening to what my viewers are talking about right now, and they're saying that Shoe Nice is always wasted on Cameo. Like, it's the effect, right? You know, like you drink, you know, a bottle of liquor at a time for your videos, you're gonna get addicted to it. So your body needs that kind of thing. Like, that's something you do from time to time. But like he's known for like downing like 5, 6, 7 long neck beers at one time and doing them so fast. Maybe. What is the GameStop stock doing today? Hey Volkswagen, appreciate this resubscription. It probably got lampooned in with all the gifts.
We better get
Why is
back,
GameStop
'cause it'll be dark
still
soon,
going
they
up and
mostly
down?
come at
Like,
night. Mostly.
like honestly, I figured once it started going down, it would just stay down. Like, why did it pick back up? Because in that, I know back during like the Great Depression, bankers would like, if one of their friends got caught in a bad stock, they would all buy back into the stock and pump it up so that guy can sell it, and then they all sell it all at one time. Is that not what's happening to GameStop right now? You have a couple people that had their friends caught in a stock. So like they got all their money together and bought into the stock, which raised the stock's price up. And as soon as it did that, they all dumped to get their friend out of the trench, and then left it with people that were unknowing what was happening. No, I've never played the Daughters of Ash mod. How am I uninformed about stocks? I mean, I'm literally reciting something from a Great Depression documentary.
Switch to DCS ranging.
Hey, FPS Reese, do appreciate the $25 donation.
We're in the pipe. 555.
I get, well, sometimes documentaries, but like, where do you get all your information from? Websites written by one person? Books? Which books? I mean, like, I could show you a book right now that tells you that that everything in the world was designed by aliens. Does that make it true? No, it doesn't. You motherfuckers out here like y'all reading scientific thesis on stocks. What did I just picked up? Was that a humanity? I didn't know those things even drop humanity. Stocks pretty much is gambling, dude. It's a game. It's a game adults play. I mean, it's not completely gambling because, like, stocks are not 100% rigged to the house. Alright, this is what I came back for, the Twin Humanities. Onward to Blighttown. I don't do wish your birthdays because most people just send it to some person I never heard of. Why am I playing Dark Souls? Because I want to. Well, I've only been playing this an hour. More like Shite Town. No. Everything is rigged. Like, honestly.
Switch to DCS ranging.
Ooh, snort some fuel. Luxury lunch on me, pimp. I already bought lunch, but appreciate it, dude. My lunch was like $7.
Luxury lunch on me, pimp.
I got I got a famous bowl, which I haven't cracked open yet. So I wanted to kind of stream and get it out the way. Not so much that I'm in a rush to get out and stop streaming. But like later on today, me and my wife's supposed to go clean this old lady's house for her. And so I got to do that this evening. No, I don't think it's a hoarder house, but I've never seen it. It's just an old lady that my wife knows that has had trouble with mobility, and you know, she offered to go straighten her house up a little bit for her, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go help you out. I'll go on a tag along. So it ain't for money or anything. It's just to be good. It's just to do a good deed. My wife's at work. Yeah, if it's a hoarder house, I might back out. Honestly. No, I don't have any trouble with mobility. Like, you see me walk a mile and string while talking to people. Like, I'm pretty active right now. Honestly, I'll just probably watch it. Yeah, because my house has always been filthy. Every time you've ever seen my house, it's been destroyed. I live in squalor. Okay. Jeff Gordon is a way better driver than me too. Does that make me a bad driver? Just because you run 5 miles a day doesn't mean I'm not active.
Switch to DCS
Hey,
Ranger.
that big pimp. Can I get a
240,
pimp?
I'm on
Yeah.
the profile.
You're in the pipe. 555.
No, Jeff Gordon doesn't still race. What tips for a factory job? Factories generally are not heating and air cooled. So if you're a big guy, Vaseline. You're going to be on your feet a lot. A couple things you can do, and all my tips are going to be basically based on being big and fat and trying to work a factory job and keep up with people that aren't big and fat. Pantyhose. I know it might be dumb as shit, but pantyhose are a lifesaver for like big dudes in a factory situation. You don't wear them like a woman would wear them. You don't like pull them up your leg. What you do is what I would do is I'd put pantyhose on and then put my socks over the pantyhose. What pantyhose does is it keeps you from getting a blister on your feet, right? So like your sock eventually gets saturated with sweat, and when your sock gets saturated with sweat, when you're walking, it's going to drag across the top of your skin, causing like almost like a heat rash. It's like a redness. It makes it really tender. The pantyhose will stop that because it basically make it a smooth transition. So like when you're walking, you want to deal with that. Another thing with like foot pain and stuff is how good of circulation you have to your foot. So what I normally would do is I'd run a pretty thick sock, and I would take that thick sock and I would basically pull it around the top of my boot. So I'd have my pantyhose and the sock on the top of my boot, and I'd pull it around the laces. So like the sock itself doesn't like restrict your circulation by clinging to the side of your leg, because I had pretty big legs. Other things, baby powder. Like when you take a shower before you go to work, put baby powder underneath like any part of your body that where skin touches skin. That also helps. It also helps keep you dry. Like almost everything, like working in a factory is about staying dry and comfortable. Like for me, like foot health care was like one of the big pluses for me, because being on my feet 12 hours a day, no matter what weight you are, sucks. Rocco, I can't see, buddy. I'm trying to read things. How wings? I mean, like, it is what it is. Like, people can make fun of you for wearing pantyhose, but like, nobody really knows they're on your feet unless you tell them. And at the end of the day, when you go home and your feet aren't fucking killing you, that's all that really matters. Those motherfuckers don't pay your bills, and they don't work your hours. They work their hours. So if they want to go home with their feet hurting and their back hurting, let them do it. I ain't about that life. How did I find pantyhose that big? I'm only a size 11, dude. They make pantyhose and pantyhose also stretch. You eventually got to buy new ones because you eventually wear holes in them. But, you know, it is what it is. No. First off, like, how many janitors are there in a factory? You clean your own fucking areas. Nobody gave a shit, honestly. You had one or two people that cared, but most people that work in factories are in their 30s and 40s, and all they're really there to do is try to provide for their family. That's it. You got to worry more about backstabbers than you got to worry about people picking on you. Because like in work environments, there's always somebody who's trying to use your back as a stepping stone to go up the ladder.
Switch to DCS ranging.
240.
Hey, Mr. Wayne, did you know DSP likes penne pasta?
5
I did not know that. Thank you for informing me. By the way, thank you, Bress, for all the donations you give me over the last year or so. Thank you, dude. Am I new to this game? Yeah, I'm new. Completely new to it. That's how I can, like, talk about foot care and, you know, fight multiple enemies at the same time. Yeah. Comfortable work. That's why I was talking mainly a lot about foot care, is because, like, you're on your feet a lot. And when I say a lot. Like, for example, when I worked on the melt deck, I would walk up two flights of stairs probably 70 times a night on average. And that's not counting, like, unloading billet trucks or climbing on the back of semi trucks and things like that. You know, just it's a very foot intensive job. You're going to walk a lot. And you want to do everything in your power to make sure that your feet are comfortable and healthy. Why not buy good socks? I explained, are you talking about the pantyhose thing? I explained why you wore the pantyhose and the socks. Because socks, when they get saturated with sweat, will start dragging on your foot from the extra weight, and that dragging on the top of your shoe and then your sock will actually cause your foot to rub raw and become red. It's all about alleviating that, because the pantyhose acts as like a barrier to keep your to like the socks keep sliding smoothly so you don't get that rash. Yeah, trust me, I struggled with foot pain for a long time when I worked in that class. Like I'd feel like you get that burning sensation on the top of your foot, well, not the top of your foot, but the bottom of your foot, but the top near the toes, where those two meaty pads are. Like that used to like if you ever sat down, that would start burning, and feel like you're stepping on tacks and stuff all night. And like that depends on how your foot like lands and stuff. Like that you can go further than that. Like you can go to a podiatrist and get like soles put in your shoes. Like here, I'll show you that. But these aren't medicated soles, but like it's the same idea. Like you basically get like soles put in your shoes, and like they're gonna be thicker and heavier in different spots, so that when you land on your foot, it basically makes you distribute your weight evenly. I'm 11 wide. My shoes are comfortable as hell. Like I don't even realize I have them on half the time. But I take my foot health more seriously than I do my actual health, which is funny. Size 14 shoe is expensive as hell, dog. Just real talk. If you want boot preferences, I can give you those too. I like Georgia boots. The boots I like the least is Rocky. Rocky is always a little too narrow, and they's always hurt my feet. Whereas like Georgia boots are always fucking comfortable. Eater Mildred, come on, girl. I don't wear pantyhose no more, but like, I'm not also not on my feet for, 12 hours straight anymore either. Like if I went back into the workforce and I had to work a factory job again, which, you know, I'm in a position in life I probably never have to work a factory job again. I'm not against working factory. I don't look down on anybody that has to work it or chooses to work it. But for me, like, I was miserable. Straight miserable doing factory work. Nah, I was making like $26 an hour at McGlass, and this was what, 2007, 2006. So that was really good money where I live at. Because like I got laid off in 2008, toward the end of it. And I was making half of $50, and I hated it. Hated it. A factory job will suck every ounce of happiness out of your fucking life. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. When I first got into McGlass and I first got hired on, because I did 6 months temp work to begin with at McGlass, and when you're a temp, you're basically what you call a raker. A raker basically is the lowest totem pole of job at McGlass. And you basically take a stick and you rake up the metal. It basically almost looks like aluminum foil, right? But you rake that up onto like a conveyor belt and you rebale it and you recycle it. That's a raker's job. His job is to make sure that all the extra metal is baled, recycled, and put where it needs to be. It's a physical job, but it's not an incredibly hard job. Like, you know, anybody of any like intelligence level can do it. So first job he gets raked, because I did raking 6 months, and I got hired on in packaging, and I did packaging for like a year. And after we got done with packaging, when I was in packaging for that year, before I moved up to the melt deck, I had another guy. He was an old dude. His name was called him Bob. Bob wasn't his name, but you could call him. So Bob didn't have a truck, and I had a truck. I had my Z71, my red one that you see in videos and everything. Needless to say, surgery money didn't pay for that truck, since I had it paid off before I even started YouTube. But I digress. So I was like, yeah, man, I can help you move a couch, because he needed to move a couch. So like when we got off work, we went to his house, and he lived in like these apartments for like Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina was just being built back then, so like. The apartments were expensive. They were like $1,200 for like 6 months. Well, for like $1,200 a month for like 6 months. I think the leases they handed out there. So so we go there, and I get to his house, and I back the truck in, and granted these are apartments. And on the door, there's a letter, and like he was tying his shoe or something, so I was the first person at the door, and I got to read the letter, and the letter was basically says something like this: I no longer love you. I've cleaned out your bank account. I'm taking the kids. I'm moving back in with my mother. You're just never home. And like, here I am. I'm like 21, 22 years old, right? And here's this 50-year-old man doing the same exact job I'm doing, working the same exact schedule I'm doing, sitting on the sidewalk crying because he was left with nothing. Like, the woman he loved left him. She took the kids, took all the money out of his bank, and I'm like, I'm just standing there like, yeah, do you still need the couch moved? Like, it's such an awkward position, right? It's like, oh, I remember that to this day. I'm like, it's fucking cold. He was peeled that day. What does that mean? Not in 2008. This was like 2006, 2005, 2006. Just 2005-ish. 2005, 2006-ish. I don't know. Like, he actually quit work the next week, and I never seen him again. I guess he decided to move on. My sword does no damage. Don't let y'all motherfuckers know this. Oh crap. Look at the donations. Don't do that, Jordy. Come on, Quaylag. You motherfucker. Shit, I should have been healing. Alright, let's close that for out. Let's do some just chatting. Let's see. Is there Pepsi in the health potions? I think it'd be Sunny Delight. Why did I? It wasn't a funeral. So you shouldn't use the term funeral. It was a celebration of life, which is basically like going and sitting into a lobby and watching a slideshow and, you know, talking about the person. I didn't really know the person that well, so it wasn't like I was missed. Right? And apparently, based on Facebook, like some drama broke out there because like the way that she died wasn't like conductive of like a good Christian life. So, you know, it is what it is. There's people's own choices. What's in a famous bowl? I got the spicy chicken one. Let me show you. Like, it's like mashed potatoes with like shredded cheese and popcorn chicken that are spicy and corn. Everything a growing boy needs. I think it's $4.95. You get the spicy bowl with a cookie, and you can get a drink for another $1.79. So it's like $7 with taxes and everything. When did I get all the Pikachus? The one on the right that's kind of laid down was my initial one. And the one on the left was my brother's. and the big one was the one my grandfather won for me at a carnival. The two on the shelf are actually the first edition of ICU Pikachu, and they have like little batteries that you put in them, and you bust them and they talk. They go, Pika Pika, like they were the very first like talking Pikachu plushies, and yeah, so I've had those because me and my brother both really liked the cartoon because those came out when the cartoon got popular, Pokemon. So we come and watch the cartoon, and we were both playing Pokemon on Game Boy. My brother ended up wanting to sell his years later, so I bought it off him for like $10. So I got his as well because like I look at it as part of our childhood. And the big Pikachu was one of the last things my grandfather ever got me before cancer got to him. And Blastoise is right next to him. He's one of my favorite Pokemon. Or the truck toy. Yeah, that's actually a scaled replica of my current truck. It's my current truck in toy form. Can I put the hat on? Yeah, I can put the hat on. Oh, Bailey, get away from me before you get ran over. You don't need another squash, Bailey. Ugh. Like, I'm a member of Chevy Truck Legends. So, like, because I've owned a Chevy truck for so long. Like, you get little fruits and stuff. Yeah, that's official. Is Chevy the best? It's all about depending. It all depends. Like I like Chevrolet. I feel like Ford makes a better truck, but Ford's stereo system sucks. And to me, Ford tries too hard with their seats. Like a Chevrolet sits a little bit better. Like the seats are fucking comfortable. Like Chevrolet and Dodge seats are fucking comfortable, but Ford seats are. I find Ford seats hurt my back more than anything because they try to like mimic the curve of your spine and shit like that. I also feel like a Chevrolet rides better than a Ford or a Dodge. What does Ford stand for? Nothing. It's the last name of the person who created the company, Henry Ford. Ford interior sucks? You a liar. What Hemi stands for? Hemi is short for hemispherical heads. It's basically how the heads sit and the fuel injection system that goes with them. So just like for Chevrolet had vortexing heads, Dodge had hemispherical heads. Ford stands for fix it again, Tony. I think you mean Fiat, Rockhouse. Fun fact, the hemispherical fuel injection system was actually created for airplanes in World War II. The engine was designed to be flown while running upside down. And they didn't decide to put that design into a car until one of Dodge's car engineers, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but basically he's seen that on the street racing side of things, nobody had a Dodge, and all the kids thought Dodges were slow. So like this is like right before like the muscle car wars kicked off, and Dodge came out with the Hemi, and it started ruling everything on the streets. That's when you started seeing things like the Dodge Charger, the Dodge Challenger, you know, the Hemi Barracuda, things like that. Dodge Neon was actually a really good car. The only thing about a Dodge Neon is you can't keep motor mounts in it. That little 2-liter that Dodge put in that Neon would sit and rock back and forth, and they had those hydraulic mounts that were like filled with hydraulic fluid. They'd eventually crack, and like all the fluid would leak out. Play Siege. I will play Siege again here soon, man. Like, I played it yesterday with Skate and I enjoyed myself. I just don't feel like doing 45 minutes of waiting to get people in the game. Want to watch Salty stream while we wait? We can. Duplicate.
Who's he hitting, bro?
I can't.
You're stuck on the Taurus Demon? When you leave the Taurus Demon, when you first go into the gate for the Taurus Demon, there's a ladder to your right. Climb up the ladder, kill the 2 archers. Then go get the Taurus Demon, run up to the tower and do plunging attacks. Bait him back and do it again. You'll get past him. The game wants you to use plunging attacks because, like, you used a plunging attack on the Asylum Demon. They're hoping that you learn that you can plunge attack enemies, and you can do it again on the Taurus Demon. It's about applying the things the game teach you. Dude, the Ford Taurus SHO is a fucking brilliant car. I'd rather have that over a Dodge Charger. Hey, Phoebus, I mean, if I'm below average, why'd you show up? Honestly. Somebody asked me where you can get the hat. I got this hat off of hatsinthebelfry.com. This is a legitimate top hat. This one cost $88. You're going to need to know how big your head is, so you're going to have to measure your head to get the exact fit. I don't watch any streamers, honestly. Like, I've been doing this a lot more. Like, rocking just a holographic. I feel like when I rock the ACOG, it puts me too tunnel visiony. I could invest that $88 in the banquet meals. See, like, Salty's doing something right now they probably shouldn't do. They should be playing for the plant, and he's out here hunting. Ash is hunting too instead of planning. Granted, everybody's left. They've won this game. But, you know, it is what it is. It's one thing I complain about all the time. There's somebody else. My dog, Doug. Well, your username is Grandmaster Baby Nuts. So, like, your opinion means 0 to me. I just don't feel like playing Siege right now. Just kind of want to chill out. Yeah, we can stop watching this entirely. I'm not going to look at any images, dude, especially from somebody that is basically new to the channel. It's like a Metroidvania Pokemon game. Is that on PlayStation? Do I wear any jewelry? I wear a necklace from time to time. But not really, no. Skizio Anonymous. I've actually started lowering it, basically because of I found in Rainbow, if I aim for the chest instead of the head, I get a lot more kills. Am I selling the truck? No. You guys are talking about Fiona, right? Nah, man. We got the new car strictly to have Kelly keep miles off her car for the most part. Like, I don't like particularly driving it, and it's not because I'm fat, but because I can't stretch my leg out in it. Like, I can drive it fine, but like my right leg I can't stretch out in it at all. Like, here's what we're talking about. This is the new car we got. It's a 2006 Ford Focus ZX4 SES. It's a long fucking name for basically like a 2-liter engine with seats. It's like a go-kart with wheels and a roof. That's what it really is. We got this for $2,500. Takes $20 to fill up and gets 400 fucking miles, and it's ugly as shit. We named it Fiona. People who drive that ask to speak to your manager. You trying to hate you, dog? I have the heater while I'm riding the beater, son. There is no Apple CarPlay in it. Matter of fact, the driver's side speaker doesn't work. like all the stuff on the front here, like history of the car, real quick. As you can see, the car has 64,000 miles on it, and it's 16 years old. This car was owned by an elderly gentleman who kept it in a garage most of its life. Like he bought it brand new in 2006, and he kept it until the day he died, and he put like 44,000 miles on it. After he died, this family who sold it to us got it in his estate, and they basically allowed their young daughter to drive it, and she was driving it back and forth to school for the last 20,000 miles, and she ended up like hitting a stop sign. That's why it looks like Wolverines carved it up here. Like she hit a stop sign and messed all the front bumper up. There's also like a dent in the back quarter panel of the driver's side. And since then, she's been embarrassed to drive it. So they decided to sell it, and they sold it for $2,500. And we bought it to be the beater car. Like the car is designed just to keep miles. So like my wife has it right now at work. Like outside, I have my truck and the Explorer, and like my wife will drive it back and forth to work, and like when she gets home, I'll use it to go do my secondary job and things like that. It's just a car that's designed to put miles on it. That transmission won't last another 10K. Why? Because I'm so fat. Is that why? Here's me. Here's a picture of me in the car. With my badass cat dad shirt on. Here's me in the Explorer last night. Listen to me some Usher. That's the Ford Explorer, and here's like something like I tweeted earlier. Like I finally found a Kendrick Lamar song I like, which is High Power. Like I've never heard this song before. Like today, like damn, this shit's kind of fire. There's me and my mop baby. What's your mop's right over there? Why do people call me Sam? Because people are idiots. What ended up happening was my grandmother had to basically poop on these sticks to have her fecal matter tested. And I was streaming, and she wanted to show me that the doctor gave her sticks to poop on. So she comes in, she goes, Jordy, look at these. I'm like, not right now, Grandma. And she goes, see them? My shit sticks. And people thought she said, Sam, my shit stinks. And that's where it came from. My grandma had a really, really thick southern accent. She said, see 'em, my shit sticks. And they thought, Sam, my shit stinks. That's where Sam came from. The Richard thing, apparently, like my address is linked to some dude named Richard Jordan. I'd never met that dude. And like my grandfather cleared this lot back in like the 80s. I was like 2 or 3 when my grandfather bought this lot. I don't know who owned it before him. How am I feeling right now, bud? I'm feeling pretty good. Like I wish my stream was more fun right now. Like that's what I'm thinking about. Like in my heart, I'm like, how can I make this more entertaining? Because like Gamer came through and gave a shit ton of subs. We've had 2 big donations. It's like I'm not giving you guys the product that deserves the support that you guys giving me, and I'm like, how can I make this more entertaining? As I fucking pet Rocco, Mr. Rocco. Rocco's like an awesome fucking cat. It's like always having a stress ball right there next to you. That's a big cat. Rocco is a big kitty. He's not actually fat. Like, this is his pooch. He's actually the way he's supposed to be. My beard, I'm going to have to get some Just for Men soon. Either that or I'm going gray beard. Like, look at that. Like, all this white. I wish we could play some gunfight. Rocco is actually Rocco, I know this sounds dumb as fuck, but Rocco is around, last time I weighed him, which was a year ago, was 14.8. I would think he's around 15 and a half to 16 pounds right now. But in his breed, he's allowed to be 14 to 18 pounds. He's just a big cat breed. Like, he's considered a medium-sized cat, right? Granted, there's cats bigger than him, right? But once you get to cats bigger than him, you're talking about like bobcats and lynx and things like that. Whereas Rocco's like the biggest variety of house cat. Rocco's what you call a chartreux. Buy you a Cadillac Escalade? Dog, those things like $100,000. I'll pass. But man, fucking Tahoes are getting to be $100,000. Like, if you get like a loaded Tahoe, you're in $80,000 territory. It's like, what the fuck, man? Really? Sure, Van. What you got for me? What? Show like a really expensive Tahoe? Shit, I'll find you one. But Myrtle Beach Chevrolet has one right now. They don't have not one Tahoe. I know Judd Coon will have one though. Judd Coon never fails. That big ass inventory they have. It'd be great if you provide reactions to it. They don't have a premiere. Judd Coon does. Let me find one. Let me show you this. Let me show you this shit over here. I gotta find somebody with like a premiere. But here's RST, which is basically stands for Rally Sport Truck, and it's basically like the monochromatic look of a Tahoe. So this is basically a little bit above an LT, so like just a step above mid trim, and like, you know, there's $70,000 here. Let me go look a little bit more here. Might have to go to Car Gurus to find it. I know Palmetto Chevrolet didn't have anything. Let's go to Car Gurus. So I don't know another Chevrolet dealership off the top of my head. The problem with like finding a Tahoe on a dealership website right now is there's like a shortage of chips. Here we go. Like here's one. This is at, it looks like that's at All-Star Chevrolet, 5-star Chevrolet. This is a 2021 Chevrolet High Country, $82,000. I don't understand what about this is $82,000 because, like, to me, everything looks like the truck, which is half the price. That's $82,390. It's got 5 miles on it. Has it got the 6.2 in it at least? It does. It does have the 6.2 liter V8. There's one for 81, there's one for 79, 78, 77, 77, 77, 77, 75, 75. I don't think the new Suburban's even out yet. Let's see. Let's see what the Suburban's looking like. No, Suburban's about the same price. It's literally the same fucking price. And it's like, do you want the big one or do you want the little one? You're paying the same money. Well, some people don't like the Suburban because it's so long. Because it's basically like a Tahoe with a full-size bed on the back of it. Look at that. Look, that's cavernous, dog. You put those back seats down like you could fit like a little car in there. I hate that shit right there. How Chevrolet's going to like the push button on the dash. So like, I like levers, and I like the fact that my truck has the lever. I don't know, but yeah, Tahoes are like Tahoes are like can get up to $80,000 now. I'm out of the times. What do you mean? Can I do something that's not boring? What do you suggest? What do you suggest? I'm almost certain that you're going to get like Yukons and Yukon XLs that are $2,000 more than the Tahoe, and the only thing difference about them is the badging. Like the Escalades right now, holy shit. Let's look at the Escalades. Hold up, let's look at the Escalades. I know those go over $100,000. And you know what the difference between an Escalade and like a high-end Tahoe is? The Cadillac fucking badge. Let's see this. Matter of fact, Candy Paint Cadillac Grove. Here's a Cadillac Escalade, premium all-wheel drive. Like, this is crazy. Like, this thing right here, you could almost get 2 Ford Raptors for the cost of this one car. And this is essentially a fucking Tahoe with Cadillac badging. There's like no difference in them. I mean, I guess the dash is a little bit different, like this is. Because like this is all one piece, whereas like the Tahoe, it's like one singular piece. But after that, there's nothing different. Like the Tahoe has the push button here, and it has the rotary dial here. What? No, where's that? I don't what. 13.1 miles per gallon. Cadillac Escalade, candy bread, yet I'm sitting on blaze. Look at that fucking backup camera. That's ridiculous. There's the bargain Escalade. Only $250 shy of 100 grand. Dog, you'll never catch boy Jordy spending 100 grand on a fucking car. Never happened. Like I don't think the Raptor's worth the money it's worth. The most I'd ever spend on a car is about $45,000. That's the top end, right? That is the exact top end that you'll ever see me buy a car for. I don't know anything about the Ford Escape, actually. Don't know had a question. Let me check. $5. Barely positive. Just confirm order for the 2021 Bronco. Do you think it will outperform the Wrangler? Yes. But that's not really a big thing. Like, Jeep's thing is they're trail rated. Let me show you this shit right here. And they can say they're trail rated, right? The same way that McDonald's can say they're genuine beef, right? You see how it says trail rated and then it has the registry trademark here? Because Stellantis, which is the owner of Jeep at this point, copyrighted the term trail rated. So they can call, if they wanted to, they could call the Dodge Dart trail rated. Right? And they're not lying to you, and it will hold up in court. Just like McDonald's, the company that supplies McDonald's as beef is actually called Genuine Beef. Same thing here. Like, they can call their beef Genuine Beef because the company they get it from is called Genuine Beef. And Dodge can call all their products trail rated because they're trail rated. But if you look, there's a person that bought a Jeep Gladiator and they put it in the mud one time, and the mud fucked the alternator up. And the alternator, because it got fucked up a couple other things like the electronic locking differential and things like that. And she's in court right now stating that they advertise their vehicles as trail rated, and that, you know, to go through mud and streams, climb rocks and things like that, how is using that vehicle improperly still using the vehicle as advertised, voiding the warranty, right? Holy shit, where did this fucking money just come from? Bionic. Is somebody Big Gamer, dude, I missed your $25 donations. Thank you, man. Thank you for all the money you donated today. I am sorry I missed that. I'm like, I just looked. I was like, oh. Jeeps used to be fucking awesome, right? Like AMC Jeeps and even like the early 90s Jeeps, like the 4-liter inline sixes, like Jeeps were fucking off-road machines. Jeeps have turned into soccer mom machines. None of them are very good. Like a Jeep Gladiator is like 70 grand for like a loaded Jeep Gladiator Sahara edition, and it's worth nothing. Like it has the same V6 engine a base Challenger has in it. It has the 3.6 liter Pentastar. It has, really no towing ability. Has no real usable bed. Ugly ass tail lights. And like I said, the alternator is positioned so low on the engine that if you actually put it in the mud, you're going to fuck your alternator up because it's going to get water in it. Jeeps are fucking terrible right now. And to look at it and be like, is my Bronco going to outperform a Jeep? Yes. Yes, it is. The 2.3 liter EcoBoost has one problem with it. And that problem can easily be fixed by not doing anything. The problem with the 2.3 liter EcoBoost, it has too thin of a block in between the second and third cylinder. So if you go and start putting bigger turbos or you start cranking the boost pressure up with mods, you're going to blow a hole in the side of your block. All right. If you keep a stock tune on it, there's 160,000 mile EcoBoost sitting out there, right? The 2.7 is a little different. 2.7s having a lot of issues. So if you're getting a 2.7, you also can't get the 2.7 liter V6 without the automatic transmission. So if you want a handshaker, you have to get the 2.3. But 2.7 liter V6 twin turbo, it's a lot of power, a lot of low end torque, very fun engine, but it has a lot of turbo issues, has a lot of wastegate issues, and it's an engine I would stay away from currently. But, a 2.3 Bronco with a manual transmission, shit, that thing is going to outperform a Jeep every day of the week. Every day of the week. The Bronco should have came with a V8 period. No, it shouldn't have. Here's the problem with putting V8s in a Bronco, right? Off-roading, what you want is low-end torque. You don't want weight, right? Because generally, back when I was a kid, people would go to mud bogs and they would have like big Chevy trucks. They'd have like square body trucks. They'd have like the very beginnings of like the GMT 800 series trucks, and they did all right. You'd see Fords trucks and full-size trucks go out there and do the thing. But you want to know what really ruled the mud bogs? Who out there can guess what car ruled mud bogging? Who has the right answer? But nobody fucking has the answer. Yep, there it goes. Infinite infamy. Suzuki fucking Samurais. Suzuki Samurais and sidekicks kill it in off-road. You can get big-ass tires under them. They have a lot of low-end torque. They don't have a whole lot of horsepower, but they don't weigh nothing. So they don't sink. They kind of skid across the top of the mud, and they can go anywhere they fucking want. Geo Trackers is another car that's really good at off-roading. They got really short wheelbases, the whole nine. Those things would beat the shit out of a full-size truck almost every day of the week back in the day. And like the Bronco is trying to be that, and like putting a heavy-ass V8 Coyote engine into a car that has a short wheelbase is not the play. First, it's going to be nose heavy. And when you have a car that's nose heavy, what's going to happen is when you're going on a descent, you're going to descend faster than you want to. It's going to be hard to balance out a V8 engine. Having a good 4-cylinder turbo in there is perfect. because it means that you're not as nose heavy. So like your nose is not going to dip as soon as like you know the front wheels leave the ground and things of that nature. We had another donation just roll in. Tom, if you had to pick one car or truck that would last the longest mile wise with proper regular makes, what would it be? If I had to pick one car or truck that would last the longest mileage wise with proper regular maintenance, what would it be? Inline 6 Cummins diesel. That's my answer. Inline 6 Cummins diesel. They're probably the most stout engine ever made. Like if you keep a Cummins diesel, like the inline 6 Cummins diesel up, it will run until the car will fail. Like everything else on the car will fail before the engine will. And like you can see them all the time, like in those old Dodge 95 Dodges. Like you'll see them with the Cummins diesel engine, and like everything else on the truck has failed. Like the ball joints are gone, the hubs are gone, the seat's gone, like the hood's gone, the paint's gone, but the diesel engine can get out there and still pull like a fucking 12, 15,000 pound trailer and get 25 miles per gallon. Yeah, your 94 2500 Cummins. The only thing left is the drivetrain, right? They're stout. Like gasoline wise though, Chevrolet 350 is one of them. Like Chevrolet 350 is right up there. There's a dude that got 2.1 million miles off a long block Chevrolet 350. The 4.7 Toyota is really good. There's a couple million mile gasoline engines with the 4.7 as well. We already have kids. We have Bailey, and we got Rocco, and Grayson, who's somewhere. There's Bailey. She's asleep. Saturn, all you had to do was ask. Like, I begged people to play Dark Souls New Game with me. Like, even if you store those old 94 Dodges, their dashes are just trash. Like, they crack. Crack and crack and crack. And, like, I don't know. Like I love the look of the 94. Like, not, like, I've always wanted, like, a 2000s version. Like, I've always wanted, like, a 2000, like, Dodge pickup four-wheel drive. Like, if I had to own a Dodge pickup, that's the one I'd own. Like, a 2000, 2001 Dodge with that body style. Mainly because I like the steering wheel better than the 94. But I don't know. I know the Dodge Rams of that era had a lot of like they had a lot of electronical problems. The gas engines tend to have like exhaust manifold problems, and they eat water pumps. And then the engines were always better than the trucks themselves. Like everything else on the truck sucked. Like you can't find like a 95, 96 Dodge Ram even in the South without like the back wheel well of the bed completely eaten out with rust. Like places like trucks are not known to rust in the South, but Dodge Rams find a way. Here's the thing about the new Dodge Rams, like the Rams, like right now. The Hemis actually have a camshaft issue, and MSD has not been properly tested, which is multi sequential displacement, which basically means cylinder deactivation, which is like active fuel management Chevrolet speak. But like, man, are the Dodge interiors nice. Like, and comfortable. Like, you want a comfortable riding truck, those Dodge Rams. There's a reason why they quadrupled their sales in the truck market. My first car was a 91 Honda Accord with the 2.2 liter and the 5-speed. It was a 91 Honda Accord EX. It had the sunroof, cloth seats. It had the optional cassette player. Had the 5-speed manual with a 2.2 inline 4. It didn't have a VTEC. It didn't have the VTEC. VTEC hadn't come out in 91 yet. So it didn't have variable valve timing or anything like that. It was just a straight 2.2. Let's see if I can find my car. Not the exact car. Here is my car. I had a black one. That's what my interior looked like. It had the 5-speed cassette player, just like that. There's actually more like it because I had the light interior. It was black on the dash, and I had white cloth seats with the 5-speed, the cassette deck. Which I took the cassette deck out and I put like a JVC CD player in it. But I had those wheels right there. I had the sunroof too. That was my first car. Trying to find a black one. That's close to what it looked like. That was a nice fucking car, honestly. My first truck was actually the truck I had on stream forever, that 2002 Silverado. That was because I traded my 91 Honda in for that truck, and I kept it for 18 years. So technically, I'm on my that's my 4th truck out there in the yard. Had the black F-150, the Tahoe, and the white F-150. Well, that's my 5th truck, and my red Silverado. And that's my 2nd Silverado. Mine was a 2002 Silverado 1500 Z71. Yeah, those Grand Prix GTs have the 3800 Series 2 in them. Like, other than a couple things, they'll go forever. Like you'll get issues with like the belt squeaking. Like there's a tensioner pulley on the 3800 that tends to like stick, and the water pump pulley usually sticks too. So you're gonna put water pumps and fucking like tensioner pulleys on that thing all fucking day. But 3800 will continue to go well after a lot of cars have given up. I had a 2008 F-150 Roush, and I had a 2012 EcoBoost Lariat. Anything over $10 is talk to speech. My 10-year-old and a mod. Yeah, same bowl. Yeah, I brought the Roush F-150 and I was making big money. Yeah, my Roush F-150 had a supercharger. I got videos of it. Shit, I ain't gotta tell you anything. I got fucking videos of my supercharged Roush. I'm ready. I'm ready. Gotta love that supercharger wine. I'm ready. It put out 554 horsepower to the wheels. I think that's what it did. Yeah, I sped it up because, you know, I actually talk in the video and it's not sped up. It did a quarter in like 12.5, something like that. I don't know how much boost to boost down. Didn't have a boost gauge in it. I mean, it's up to y'all. I didn't speed the video up. And like, why would I care about a video I shot? It's not even like, even then, like that video's privated. Let's see. You guys want to see my Silverado? My Silverado was way slow. Let's see, YouTube Studio. My Silverado has some. I'm gonna let you guys know my Silverado has pipes on, so don't turn it up too loud on your headset. It's not a truck video without 0 to 60. Boost a little bit. That's the five. That's the LS2
Not the fastest in the world. Not the slowest either.
LS253, 285 horsepower crank.
It's faster than four-cylinder. It's faster than some four-cylinder sedans, but it's a truck in the end.
Yeah, those fucking EcoBoost trucks fucking scoot, dog. Your mom daily drove that same truck as a girl's car? Okay. Okay. Get Bailey a car. What the fuck, Bailey? Bailey, you want a car, baby? What car would you like to? What car you want Daddy to get you? Think you can drive, baby? You want the Steve Urkel car? Izetta? You an Izetta girl? Or you a smart car girl? She wants a Chevrolet Sonic. What's my opinion on the TRX? It's got too much motor and it's too heavy to be a proper off-roader. Anytime you jump a sand dune with it, it's going to crack it on the frame. What's a good car under $10,000? Like the best car under $10,000, like you get lots of good cars under $10,000. Toyota Camry is a good car. Like when you're asking to buy cars, it's more like what car do you need, and what class, and what's your price point, and you have to go from there. Like this is how much money I'm willing to spend. This is what I need to do. What car fits these perfectly? That's in the best shape. That's what you look for when you're buying cars. What's a good car under $3? I mean, like. You can get Honda Accords for under $3 if you're willing to really try. Like I recently just bought a car for $2,500, and before we found the Ford Focus with the 2-liter Duratec, we were about to buy a 2004 Monte Carlo with a blown transmission for $1,000, and I found a transmission in Fayetteville for $700. So I figured I could get the car for $1,000. Pull it back to my house, go get the transmission from Fayetteville, have a mechanic put the transmission into the car for another $700, and I'd be in about $2,600 on the car. Fast car for $20,000, 2011 GT Mustang with the Coyote. You can get 2011 GT Mustangs all day, 11 to 14 for 20 grand. I put out 411 horsepower. They're just fucking fun. None of my cars are real junkers, man. Like I could have kept the red one, right? The red one had an axle pinion problem I didn't catch right, and the axle failing was my mistake because like it just happened. Like it could have went almost to oil change. I just never noticed it, right? But they ended up throwing a bearing in the axle. I could have fixed that, and I wish I did honestly because I love that red car. And I kind of wanted to get into I wanted an S550 when I bought the Mustang. So I went and got an S550 for a couple reasons. One, I didn't really feel like dealing with axle repair.
Switch to
Two,
DCS ranging.
I wanted the new style Mustang anyway. You have given 200,000 to spend a condition. You have to spend every penny on a vehicle or truck. What do you get? What would you modify? Give me a second on that question. So I went and got the Black EcoBoost Mustang, and I like the Black EcoBoost Mustang. The only thing about the Black EcoBoost Mustang was I never could get comfortable in the seat of it, right? And I think that has to do with the leather seats, because I test drove multiple GT Mustangs with the cloth seats because it was the V8 base, and I was completely comfortable in the cloth seats. And my red seats were cloth seats too. It was something to do with like the 8-way power adjustment and how the bolsters were designed in the seats of the higher trim that fucked with me. I ended up having back pain. So, and that kind of motivated me to be like, you know, if I just sell my truck and trade this in and get into another truck, I'd consolidate my truck. I'd have actually spend less money between insurance and payment and everything. And I'd be in a vehicle I'm comfortable in. So I did that. And that's where my current truck's at. And that's the history of my cars in the last 6 years. $200,000. I have to spend it on... Is the price of the car factored into that? Because I can buy a $200,000 car. I don't know. $200,000 is a lot of fucking money to spend on a car. Right? I don't know if I can answer this question. Like, me personally, I don't like a lifted truck. Like, at most, I do a 2-inch lift, right? Like, honestly, like, look here. Like, I was going to do this just to piss people off. But, I had to go to the doctor today. When I was walking out of the doctor, this right here was parked at the front door of the doctor's office. And I was going to take a picture. I took a picture of it. Like, I'm going to tweet this shit out. Because it's from Palmetto Chevrolet, too. You can see on the tag down there, it's Palmetto Chevrolet. That's where I bought my truck from. I was like, look at my new fucking truck, guys. Just to see how many people would actually believe I went and bought another new truck. So, but that's a Trail Boss. And a Trail Boss has a 2-inch factory lift. And I could get down with that. But, like, for the most part, I don't like a lifted truck. I just feel like they're hard to get in and out of. They take all the horsepower away. They fuck the ride up. Your gas mileage goes low. Like, everything about a lift makes the truck worse unless you're going off-road. So, like, the axles don't lift. Yeah, but everything else does. Like the body, the weight. You put bigger tires on the axles, and if the bigger tires generally don't have the same rollout as the factory tires do. Thus, it affects their ability to turn and how fast how fast you could spin them. So your speedometer ends up being off. Your speed sensor thinks that you're going faster than you actually are. You basically it takes the engine more. It takes the engine. It makes the engine have to work harder to turn the wheels. They generally have a more aggressive tread as well, which makes it even harder to turn the wheels. Like the gearing is geared toward your factory stock tire size, whereas as you go up, it gets slower and slower and slower. Everything about a lift makes your truck worse, other than looks, which are opinion based, and off-roading, because it gives you more clearance. So, like, I don't think I'd even put a lift on my truck. So, like, how could I spend $200,000 on my truck to make it better? Like, I would say supercharge it, but that's only like I could supercharge my truck for like 15 grand, right? And I'm still at $185,000 left to spend. I don't think I could possibly do it, honestly. I'm sure somebody could do it. Like, you could like go in and have like the headliner made up so like it looks like stars, like a Rolls Royce. You could put like the most banging sound system you possibly could into your truck. But like, to me, I'm at a point where I like a minimalist setup on a sound system. Like, I like a little bass. Like, I like 8s and 10s, right? Like 1/8, maybe at most a couple 10s. That's all you really need for bass, right? With a really in a really good sound stage speaker. like that's perfect. Like you can go overkill on a sound system as well. Like I don't want everybody in the the tri-state area to know I have a subwoofer in my truck. If you got it, I bought almost all my cars have had subwoofers in them.
We better get back, because it'll
Hey,
be
Bass
dark
Joe.
soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I don't know. I don't think I can actually do $200,000. I couldn't spend it. Like, if I did everything I wanted to do to my truck, it'd probably cost at most $20,000. Has to go in, sound deaden the entire truck, put in a modest sound system, supercharge it, tune it, and be done with it. Maybe even install the heating steering wheel. I'd still be like $170,000 for it. I don't know how I got into a car with one of my friends. He had a Firebird, and he was playing some fucking Nelly. I don't know how many subwoofers had in his car, but you couldn't hear Nelly. Like all you heard, he played fucking country grammar, so it was like hot shit, and then everything else was like the whole car was fucking shaking, and I'm over here like you couldn't hear any lyrics. Big game, you gotta look at the Chevy Silverado Trail Boss.
You gotta look at the Chevy Silverado 1500 Trail Boss. She is beautiful all.
That's actually the truck I was just showing you. Like this right here is a Trail Boss. It's got a 2-inch lift on it. And like my next truck might be a Trail Boss. It's either gonna be a Trail Boss or an RST. But yeah, like there's people with too much bass. Like they don't. You got to level it out. It's got to. Bass should complement.
Switch
Right?
to DCS ranging.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe. 5 by 5.
So I got 212. What's the best way to get it from dimming my lights when I'm bumping at night? Separate battery. It's annoying driving and seeing my lights dim with the music blasting. A couple ways you can do it. One, you could tune your amp down, or go with a smaller amp. But what you actually need is a bigger alternator. All right, like you could actually they actually sell alternator conversion kits. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a bigger alternator and have with a bigger alternator you're going to have a different belt too. So you're going to have a different belt pattern on the front of it. You can do that. You also could go with multiple alternators. Like what was that guy's name? So YouTube. Steve Mead. Steve Mead has like this Tahoe that has like 4 or 5 alternators on it. And like he has a truck that fucking will crush you. Like, wait, let me show some Steve Mead off. I'm gonna turn the sound off on this. But Steve Mead has crazy bass. Like these people are standing outside of the car, and like the fucking pressure being released from the subwoofers on the car is just like destroying their hair. Yeah, I took the sound off because it's gonna have music on it. Like Steve Mead is like the audio guy on YouTube. If you put a bigger alternator on your car, it will void your factory warranty. Yeah, like your best bet to keep your factory warranty is just not to hit as hard. Like actually go take your amp and go down in amps and lower the RMA of the subwoofers themselves. Because what it is like you're pushing too much juice through your alternator, and it's making your lights dim. So you just gotta have more electricity. You gotta have more power. Honestly, if something in your electrical system were to fuck up right now, with that setup hooked up to it, it would void any electrical warranty anyway. Yeah. I'm I'm streaming right now. What's up? What's up?
Hey, can you look at this right here? Sometime tonight on Mom, tell me what kind of mirror I gotta have to go on that truck.
Yeah, Mama's already texted me about it. I can find it for you.
You need that?
No, I don't. I can find it for you. I'll send Mama a text with it as soon as I finish with this. That's my stepdaddy. That was David. Having old carpet speakers suck ass. Can I buy new speakers and keep the same head unit? I look and look at OEM. Yes, you can bend over. Generally, you can like old cars. I don't know what you consider older car. Like anything from 2010 down are going to have paper cone speakers, and they're going to tear, and they'll still play, but they'll have like a fluttering sound, like, or they'll have like a or like it'll be really low, and like the highs will be really good, or it'll put no mid bass out at all because the cone's completely destroyed, like different things like that. But you can get a pair of Rockford Fosgates for like $70. You can go in and change them out in your doors very easily. I suggest going to like places like Crutchfield and getting like the adapter for your car, because sometimes like you have to cut the wire and like wire them in manually, and that gets into like fire hazard territory. So what I like to do is I get the adapter, hook the adapter, the adapter into the speaker and into the car, and it like kind of connects like this, and that makes it so that it's wired in without any kind of like fire hazard kind of things going. Because people do like really hack jobs when it comes to splicing wires. Like the correct way to do it is to get like one of those tubes and then heat sink the tube and then electrical tape it. But people don't do it that way. Some people just go straight electrical tape it. Some people don't even do that. They just wire the copper together and just twist it. But yeah, you can very easily switch like it'll make a difference, right? Because like even if you put an aftermarket head unit in it, like say you put a 200 watt aftermarket JVC head unit in, that's only putting out like 15 watts per speaker. It's not really much. You'd have to go and amplify your speakers to even get like impressive levels out. Like, but one advantage of putting an aftermarket unit in is you can put an equalizer in it. Like cars used to come with equalizers, now they don't have them. They just have like treble, mid, bass. Like equalizers will let you adjust like the different tones of the bass, different tones of the mids, and different tones of the highs to your setting. But the problem when you get into equalizer, you got to start worrying about like a noise floor. I don't think Mustang made the GT Boss in 2009. They made the GT Boss in 2013 and 2014. Personally, I fuck with JL, Alpine, and Rockford Fosgate. I don't really fuck with anybody else outside of those three. Yeah, most $300 headsets have garbage audio quality. They do. Like Astros, like the Astro speaker drivers are actually terrible. Like the cones on them are terrible. Like I have one, like in my headset right now, the right ear cone. This one, I haven't. You can't get to it because it's designed never to be opened. But like in there, this one's actually got a cut in the cone somewhere because under certain reverberations, it makes a tingy sound. Hey, DMV operative. Speaking of new cars, you hear about the car Kelly isn't on the title of? Shout out Sana Franklin. Lumbrig, the temperate thug. Appreciate the $10, dude. I mean, there's a lot of new companies. Like, there's a lot of new companies out now. Like, 602 asked me about Audison. Never heard of them, man. Like, they might be a great company. Like, I know Sundown Audio's coming out and they're really popular, but I've never had any experience with those companies. And I kind of like buy what I know. Like, the company I used to like tout for when I was young was Audiobond. And Audiobond kind of went out of business, right? Like, I had in my Silverado, I kept the same 212 Audiobonds in it through 5 amplifiers. I was on my 5th amplifier, and like and the audio bonds were still perfect. The comb on them was perfect. The magnet was good. Everything on them were perfect 18 years later. But like I don't know. I don't consider myself an audiophile, but like a lot of things that are considered quality, I've always thought were kind of shit. Like for example, like Bang and Olufsen, Bang and Olufsen. Like they're like a Danish company that's supposed to make like $3,000-$4,000 like speaker setups, and like I always thought they sounded like shit. I thought their highs were terrible. Their highs always like were kind of harsh. Their mids and like they never had enough bass. Like Infinity always did a pretty good job, but like Bose was always kind of shit. Like I got Bose like speakers for my computer. I just don't hook them up anymore. Like I don't know. Like high end audio is really weird. Bose speakers bump boy. Not really. Not for the dollar amount they don't. Like a Bose subwoofer costs like $500. And I could get the same bump out of like a fucking Scar 8 with like $100 amp. Like I could spend $150 and get as good a bump or more out of cheaper quality amplifiers and units. But I gotta go, boys. I gotta go look. I gotta get this guy's mirror. Let's see. I could probably just do it on here. It don't matter. 920. All right. 2020. 150. Hey, Peter Pugs. This is what sucks right here. My stepfather, he bought a brand new F-150, and somebody was in a parking lot, and they drove by and tore his mirror off with their mirror, and now he's asking me to replace the mirror for him. Like, this is the issue, right? So, like, I know he doesn't have surround view camera. This is what I think he has. But I know he has the puddle lamp too. And he has the signal. So he has the blind spot without black texture cap right here. This is what he has right there. That's what we're looking for. I'm not buying an F-150. I'm like looking for a side mirror for my stepfather. I don't even own an F-150. Let me call this place. Sorry, I'm doing something I should be doing off stream.
ABC, please hold.
Okay. This is terrible music, right? It does sound like clown music. This is like the regular NES music, right? Like video games where they had 8 seconds of music, they just looped it the entire fucking game. Like whoever wrote this shit and thought like, man, I could sell this. Like just imagine the dude that wrote it. He was high as hell, and he never in his life thought he'd actually make money off of it. It's not my number. It's a auto wrecking number that's nowhere close to me. It reminds you of point click detective game where you try to find a hidden mine. It does. It kind of reminds me of like Resident Evil got a remaster, like it was not remaster, like a director's cut, and they changed the music up. And there's like this, there's this tune toward the end of the game where it's like a bunch of horns. It's like it kind of sounds like this. I could just end the stream, but like, do you guys really want me to end the stream? Or you want to hear this music? Now, how many of y'all can actually go out and find this song? What's the name of this song? Fartbag FPS. How you doing, buddy? I see you every day. Like I acknowledge you every day. You had to drop a hot 16 on this? The problem is there's a loop where I think he's actually coming back and I'm getting ready to talk to him and it catches me every fucking time. Where the music like loops. To be real talk, homie's probably sitting there finishing his episode of like Sanford and Son or whatever he's doing. He just didn't really want to talk on the phone today. It's got a because it to be. You gotta be like. I said you a bitch made. I don't know. No one gives a fuck about you too. Or anything you ever do about it. Unless it said no. There's where it caught me. Bang, bang, Bailey. Big one. Bailey's a bad puppy. That's it. Bailey. Because no, I'm not good. Dude, like really, what is he holding for?
What can I do for you?
Yes, sir. I'm calling about a product you might have on the lot. I just wanted to clarify if it had the turn signal in it. I have a stock number if that helps you out.
What is it?
P as in Paul 6643 2008 F-150 18. I'm sorry. I was wondering if that mirror had the turn signal in it. I couldn't tell from the pictures you provided on Car Dash Part.
I might not even have that truck anymore. That's awful.
Okay.
The right-hand mirror or left-hand mirror?
It'd be the driver's side.
Driver's side. You know what? Can you give me a call back just in 15 minutes? Ask for James. I want to go make sure that thing's actually there.
All right, buddy. Thank you, sir.
And I'll check the turn signal on it.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy.
This motherfucker want to call back. No, I didn't investigate so at all. Why would I call a proctologist? Tricky Ricky, we're not playing Warzone, dog. You just sit there spamming your fucking account. No, you know what I seen the other day? I don't know why it made me think of you motherfuckers. But I was at a gas station the other day, and this motherfucking gas station had like took packs of Newports and like put 2 cigarettes per pack in like a cellophane thing, and like with like the staples on the top, and sold cigarettes as loosies. So it was like $3 for like 2 or 3 cigarettes that were loosey. I was like, man, I'm in the wrong gas station. I don't smoke, man. I just thought it was fucked up when I seen that. I'm like, the chat will want to know about this. Oh, it was a rundown store. It had like fucking bars on the windows and everything. Do we bathe our dog? When it rains outside. You're right, Bailey. The reason she looks so nappy is because the other day we left the soda like this on the dining room table, and she went in and jumped on the table and knocked it over, and it got in her hair. So she does need another bath. We just bathed her last week. right, boys. Yeah, you just turn around if you saw that shit. Dog, it was the crappiest packaging too. It's like shit they got off Amazon. It was like cellophane with like a white piece of like, you know, like how like you get the cardboard that folds. They like folded it over cellophane and stapled it, and there's like 2 cigarettes in there. It's like holy shit. I'm like that's one of the most ghetto things I've ever seen in my life. All right, let's see. Let's do some donation running down. Running down. All right. What are we looking at here? Big us the Big Gamer Dude. Thank you for the 25 or so gifted subs and the $25 donation. Kyle Bastor says he got banned for asking question why you have not become a political or YouTuber. Instead, you spend your days whining about donations and raging online. I've answered that question before. The reason I don't become a mechanic is it's something I enjoy, not something I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, the quickest way to sap joy out of something you enjoy is to do it for a living, honestly. A Big Gamer actually donated $35. Yeah, I like the look of the Silverado. The only problem I have with the new body Silverados is they have the same engines in them. Like for the most part, they have dynamic fuel management now, which is better than what I have. I have active fuel management because the way my AFM works is it has these 2-piece lifters in them that collapse and power up based on oil, and those fail, whereas the new one just shuts off fuel injectors. So it's a little bit better system. It's a more dependable system. Snorts and Fuel, thank you for the 15. FPS Rich, thank you for the 25. Cheeks, appreciate it as well. ATF, thank you. First Fuel, thank you for the $10. Appreciate everybody for coming out to the stream. Hope everybody had a wonderful time. I'll see you guys a little bit later. And I'm out of 5,000. Peace, people.